दोस्तों प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब माई चैनल एंड प्रेस द बेल आइकन फॉर रेगुलर अपडेट्स।
Hey guys, welcome to my channel, The Devil Studio. This is my fifth video, and here again I am in front of you guys with a very interesting topic. I promised you guys that I'm going to get this topic immediately in front of you. So here's the topic. The topic for today is different operating systems that we use for hacking, right? So before we go ahead with this video, I just wanted to give you a brief on what do I exactly mean when I say operating systems for hacking. Guys, operating systems for hacking, when we talk about operating systems for hacking, we are not referring to user-friendly operating systems that are used for day-to-day purposes, right? User-friendly operating systems such as Microsoft Windows or Google Chrome OS, all those operating systems that are used for on day-to-day basis by the general public for data processing, data analysis, database management, etc., etc., etc. No, nil. We are not talking about these kind of operating systems. We are talking about operating systems that are very specifically chosen only for the purpose of hacking. Guys, you need to understand this. Hacking is a very wide concept. It's a wide topic. It's a vast concept. There are no limitations. There is never a demarcated boundary for hacking wherein you can say that hacking is only till this particular topic, or let's say hacking is only till this particular syllabus. You study the syllabus and you're a hacker. No, hacking is very vast. It's very wide. There are no bounds. There are no leaps, right? To put it in simple words, anything and everything can be hacked. Okay, you need to find a loophole in an application, or you need to find a loophole in an application or software, and you can hack that particular application or software. So basically, hacking is very wide, it's very vast, and to support such a vast and a wide concept, you need to have an operating system which is as sophisticated as the particular concept is. So that's the reason we need to have an operating system which can provide the platform required to execute such kind of heavy attacks or heavy acts, right? Such kind of operating systems are generally open source in nature. Now, why do you have such kind of operating systems and open source in nature? And what do you mean by open source? Operating systems which are known as open source operating systems are those operating systems which are available on the internet. They are freely available on the internet. There is no charge to download such kind of operating systems. They can be modified by the user according to his requirement, and such operating systems can be easily accessed and can be used according to the requirement of the user, right? This is not the case when it comes to Microsoft Windows. Microsoft Windows, you need to pay for Microsoft Windows. It cannot be freely downloaded. First of all, the copyrights exist with Microsoft Corporation, right? And you cannot just go ahead and add any kind of algorithm or any kind of coding to Microsoft Windows, right? Which is not the case with open source operating systems. An example of open source operating systems is Linux, right? Linux is an example of open source operating systems, and the different versions of Linux like Fedora, Red Hat Linux, there are many other Kali Linux, right? So these operating systems which are open source have the feasibility and the flexibility of being modified according to the requirements of the user. So for hacking, you need an operating system which is flexible enough so that people all around the world, or let's say ethical hackers, programmers, coders all around the world, can share their knowledge, develop applications, develop softwares, and contribute to that particular operating system. Now that's how we build upon an operating system which is required for hacking, right? These operating systems are used by unethical hackers as in the black hat hackers who perform hacking in the destructive means, and ethical hackers as well, who are the good hackers in simple terms, or the white hat hackers who actually secure the organization or protect the organization, the network, and basically are the hackers who work against the unethical hackers. So basically that's the ground story, what I wanted to brief you upon. So there are 10 different types of operating systems that I will be explaining in this video. I will not be going in detail, I'll just be giving you a brief on the operating systems. We will be covering in-depth analysis of each and every operating system in the videos that I will be posting in the future. So now, just before we well forward, just before I get into the basics and the basics of the operating system used for hacking, guys, me and my team, we came up with this channel, The Devil Studio, because we had three basic aims, right? I'm going to tell you what were our three basic aims. The first aim was to promote awareness about dark web and its technologies, its associated technologies. Now, most of us have a notion that dark web or dark net is a website uploaded on internet. Let me tell you, that's a false notion. That's not happening. That's a very false notion. Dark web is a separate universe in itself, guys. Dark web is a separate universe in itself, right? What we see on the internet is just 4% of the entire World Wide Web. It's just 4%. What we see, we access Google, we access Wikipedia, we access Facebook, we access Twitter, we access Instagram. What else we do, right? This is what we're going to do on internet. This is just 2% of the actual internet. The dark web or the dark net is an entire universe which is hidden from the general public and which cannot be accessed using generic browsers like Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox. No, these browsers cannot do anything. You cannot access dark web using these browsers. The only way you can access dark web is using specialized browsers. You have specialized browsers like Tor. I will dwell upon the specialized browser called Tor, how you can use Tor to access dark web, but this I will be explaining in the videos that I will be posting in the future, not now. So basically, our aim is to promote awareness on dark web, its associated technologies. And trust me guys, the technologies are evolving day to day. You have many unethical activities taking place in dark web. This is just to educate you guys on what is happening in dark web and how you guys are going to stay protected from it, right? People are afraid to access dark web. People are scared, but then trust me, it is a series of events when you are going to get surprised, you are going to get terrified. But you need to get educated about dark web. You need to know how to protect yourself from hackers who are quite active on dark web, right? So this is our first aim, to promote awareness about dark web. Second, we want to promote education and motivate people to join the League of Ethical Hackers. Guys, I have a team of experienced ethical hackers who are into this profession for the last 10 to 15 years. I myself have been into hacking for a couple of years. So we are into promoting education tutorials about ethical hacking. We want to motivate you guys so that you can yourself pursue the career of ethical hacker. And nonetheless, the best thing about ethical hacking is you are always ready. You're always ready to defend yourself against any kind of a cyber attack or any kind of cyber crime. What you guys need to realize is, this is the era of information technology, right? We are going towards artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is also a sector which is blooming up. So with every rise in technology, wherein there is a positive approach towards technology, you always have a negative side also coming along. This negative side is nothing but the cyber crimes and the cyber frauds which are taking place in our country. So our channel is also dedicated to make you guys aware or to create awareness to defend yourself against such kind of cyber crimes, such cyber frauds. And the best way to do that is to also make you capable and eligible as an ethical hacker. So I will be covering videos on what is ethical hacking, what are the courses you need to do in order to pursue ethical hacking, what are the certifications you need to take in order to become an ethical hacker, and what kind of positions you're going to hold in a multinational company once you become an ethical hacker, and what is the relevance and what is the scope of ethical hacking. Is it just limited to a particular multinational company securing the network, or is it way beyond that? Right? I'm going to cover everything in the videos that I will be posting in the future. The third and most important thing, as I was just speaking, as I just mentioned before, is the cyber frauds and the cyber crimes taking place in the world today. So I'm going to bring forward all the real time case studies of the cyber crimes that have taken place in the world, and how to defend yourself against it. Right? I'm going to tell you what actually happened, how it happened, what was the mistake that was done by the victim, right, and what could have been done in order to what could have been done so that you can safeguard yourself from any such kind of attacks. Right? You guys are very well aware, it's just a message which comes into your phone, and you open the message and your phone is hacked. It's a magic. It's not a magic. It is utter foolishness. People tend to create such kind of messages, people tend to create such kind of malware trojans, and which are being sent to you by emails, which are being sent to you by different types of social media platforms in the form of links. And what we do is, we are not aware of what kind of link has been sent to us, and we just click on that link and everything goes for a toss. This can readily happen. You don't require coding, you don't require knowledge of coding for it. You just need to know what kind of software to use in order to hack into a particular system. So I'm going to tell you what kind of softwares are available and how these softwares are being used by hackers to hack into your system. I'm going to tell you how these softwares are being used by people, by criminals, in order to hack into your mobile phones. Right? So these are the different types of problems prevailing in our society. So me and my team wanted to bring forward these problems, and wanted to bring forward these problems to you, so that you can learn, you can educate yourself, and you can defend yourself. Right? So let's get back to the video, and let's see what are the operating systems that are used for hacking. See you soon at the end of the video.
Alright guys, let's go through the best operating systems that are used for hacking. On the first place we have Kali Linux. Kali Linux is a very popular operating system that are used by hackers as well as ethical hackers. It is a Debian Linux distribution, and it's developed by Offensive Security, which is again an organization that has developed many Linux distributions. This operating system comes with 600 pre-installed pen testing tools. So basically 600 pre-installed penetration tools. Pen testing tools are nothing but penetration tools. So basically it's a penetration testing operating system, and it has applications or softwares that can be used to penetrate into the target system or the target computer, or hack into a target computer. Right? These tools or the softwares that are present or pre-installed in the Kali Linux operating systems are updated on regular basis and are available on different platforms like ARM and VMware. The operating system comes with two basic functionalities. First is forensic testing and penetration testing. Okay, and basically there are two versions of installing this operating system. First is live boot capability. Live boot capability, again guys, live boot capability means you have a CD of Kali Linux, you place it into your system, or you have a USB drive of Kali Linux, you place it into the USB slot, and you start booting it from the BIOS. Right? You start booting it from the BIOS. So it boots and it installs as a normal operating system like Windows operating system. Or else the other way is having a virtual Kali Linux installation or is virtual Kali Linux software installed in Windows. Nowadays, in an app store, let's talk about Windows 10. Windows 10 in the app store, once you search Kali Linux, you already have a pre-installed app of Kali Linux in the app store of Windows 10. So what you need to do is you need to just search for Kali Linux and click on the icon of Kali Linux and download it. So it opens up like any other application software, like just like your PowerPoint or Microsoft Word opens up. You have a Kali Linux application which also opens up in a similar manner, and it functions with its full capability just like any other Kali Linux operating system. So on the second place we have Parrot Security Operating System. Again, Parrot Security Operating System is a Debian based operating system which has been developed by Frozen Boxes team. So Frozen Boxes team is an organization which has developed the Parrot Security Operating System. This operating system is cloud friendly, right? This is the only Linux operating system which is cloud friendly. So what do you mean by cloud friendly? Basically, cloud is used for data storage, so it uses cloud for data storage. So this particular operating system is designed for ethical hacking, penetration testing, computer forensics, cryptography, etc. Right? So for those who are not aware of what exactly cryptography means, so cryptography is nothing but encryption of data so as to enable its security, or so as to protect the data from getting hacked. So cryptography is nothing but encryption of data, right? Parrot Security Operating System is a lightweight operating system. And why do I say it's a lightweight operating system as compared to Kali Linux? Is because in Kali Linux we have tons and tons of applications. We have a numerous number of applications. Just like I have stated, there are 600 plus applications installed in Kali Linux. But when you talk about Parrot Security Operating System, we have only a few selected few selected applications which have been pre-installed in Parrot Security Operating System. So that's the reason it is a lightweight operating system. It does not occupy much space on your hard disk, but whereas it's very fast and highly efficient. It's very fast because there are only a few selected applications pre-installed in it, and according to your requirement you can keep downloading and installing applications. So it occupies less space, and hence it's very fast and efficient as well. So it is again a mixture of Frozen Box operating system and Kali Linux. The Frozen Boxes team who created Parrot operating system, they created Frozen Box operating system as well, which is again a Linux distribution. It was not Frozen Box operating system is an open source operating system, but then it's not used for hacking. So the same team again created a mixture of both the operating system, Frozen Box operating system and Kali Linux. The mixture of both these operating systems is nothing but Parrot Security Operating System. So basically all the updates of Kali Linux are also applicable to Parrot Security Operating System and can be utilized by the operating system for upgradation of its version. And this particular operating system comes with a strong community support. A strong community support as in a community consists of all developers, programmers, coders. So these developers, programmers, they code various algorithms and different applications for upgrading the software, and hence it has a strong community support, and that's the reason the stable versions are being produced again and again. You have updated versions coming up in every 6 to 12 months. On third place we have Backbox operating system. The Backbox operating system, guys, is an Ubuntu based operating system. So basically the two main tasks of a Backbox operating system is security assessment and penetration testing, right? Security assessment and penetration testing. Security assessment as in it is also responsible for assessment of the network security or security of the system. It comes with a wide variety of security analysis tools. Since its primary job is security assessment, there are security analysis tools which are already pre-installed in this operating system. The other task that it performs is web application analysis and network analysis as well. This particular Backbox Linux operating system is also said to be hackers' favorite operating system. in terms of analysis, because it has complete analysis of the network as well as the system in terms of security. Further, the operating system is again regularly updated. It also has a very strong community support. They are programmers and coders who are specifically dedicated towards upgradation of Backbox Linux, and hence they keep developing, they keep adding on new codes and algorithms to this particular operating system, and it has versions and versions which are produced in the market time and again because of this strong community in the background. Alright, the next operating system is Samurai Web Testing Framework. Samurai Web Testing Framework is again an operating system that is a live Linux operating system. Basically it is used for penetration. It's a penetration testing platform, just like Kali Linux and Parrot operating system. It's again a penetration testing platform. There are many open source hacking tools for detecting vulnerabilities in websites which are being pre-installed in this particular operating system. So this particular operating system is more or less like Google Chrome operating system. If you're aware, Google Chrome operating system is also a kind of a web operating system, right? It's an online operating system, right? You need to be connected to the internet in order to access that operating system, for that operating system to function actually. So similarly, a Samurai Web Testing Framework operating system is also based on similar grounds, and it is used for detecting vulnerabilities in websites, and it's the best operating system for web penetration testing. Then comes the next operating system is Pentoo Linux. Pentoo Linux is a penetration testing operating system again. It is available in both the versions, 32-bit and 64-bit. It is bootable, so basically it can be installed using a CD-ROM or like a DVD-ROM, using a CD or like a DVD, and basically it's an excellent hacking operating system. It comes with a wide variety of tools, and the main important categories of tasks that it performs are exploitation of a particular network, or exploitation of a particular let's say a particular application or a target computer, database scanner, etc. And and that's all about it. The next operating system is Deft Linux. Deft guys stands for Digital Evidence and Forensic Toolkit. So again, it's an open source Linux distribution operating system. It is based on Ubuntu, and it is built around Dart, D-A-R-T. It is a Digital Advanced Responsive Toolkit software. So this particular operating system is a combo, or it's a combination of Ubuntu operating system and this particular software called Dart, Digital Advanced Response Toolkit. There are many forensic tools that comes pre-installed in this particular software, just like Kali Linux. So basically it is utilized by the ethical hackers and penetration testers, especially by the government IT departments. It is also utilized by the military for data analysis, right? So this is all about Deft Linux. The next operating system is Kane, Computer Aided Investigative Environment, right? Computer Aided Investigative Environment. Kane is an Ubuntu based distribution. It's a security focused distribution. Security focused as in the main aspect is to defend, or is to provide security to the standalone computer. So as the name suggests, it's a computer aided investigative environment. So basically it aids the particular system in which it's installed. So it can be run, it can be installed or just like a simple bootable operating system, wherein you insert the CD and it gets installed on the hard disk. It comes with a wide range of tools for system forensics, right? This particular operating system is useful for ethical hackers, and it has different types of applications like web browsers, email clients, document editors. So basically It is a combination of a user-friendly operating system like Microsoft Windows and can also be used for hacking purpose like Kali Linux. Alright guys, thank you for watching the video. If you have liked the video, then please do subscribe to my channel and do not forget to press the like button and also the bell icon in order to receive more updates. Thanks guys, take care.